recently somebody suggested that I do a video showing how I set up the fence on my Dremel workstation. So first I'll show you that, and then I'll set the camera up and I'll demonstrate. I'll show you how it works using it as a router, which I did another short a while ago. You can also just go watch that if you're not interested in the second half of this video. But first, let me show you just how I set this up. So the Dremel workstation is kind of neat. I do like that it could be used as a drill press. But again, in this case, I wanted to use it as a router. So to do that, I needed a fence. So all I did is I made this base down here. All this was done with scrap wood. So it's a 2x4 in the front, 2x4, piece of 2x4 in the back, piece of plywood. I think any old plywood would work. Something sturdy enough to handle this, which isn't all that heavy, but something sturdy. Sturdy is better. And I wanted this elevated so that I could clamp this down. And then of course my fence, also a piece of scrap wood, and I just notched out the middle part here so that the router bit will fit down in there. So 1 second and I'll show you how it works. Oh, one other thing I'll mention real quick though is it's basically you just line up the fence right along the line here of the middle line there on the Dremel workstation. You might have to play around with it a little bit just to get it adjusted or set exactly where you want it so that your router bit is cutting the way you want it to. So that's really it for how I set up the fence. So I'll set up the camera though and do an edge on a piece of wood just so you can see it work. 1 second. All right, so I just did actually what I recommended was just kind of use a piece of scrap wood to make sure it's cutting where you want it to cut, adjusting the speed the way you need it so that it doesn't burn, and that's about it. And then yeah, lining it up on this. So in this case, I have it almost like pretty much exactly on top of that line, but depending on the bit, you might need to move that up or back a little bit. The one thing that I would love to know how to do, or if there's a way to do it, would be great to know, is how to keep this down. Because right now I have to hold this down. I don't know if you can see over here, the handle basically. I have to hold this down while I'm pushing the wood across with my other hand. So ideally, I would like for this to be held down so that I can use both hands to work, to move that across. But anyway, here we go. So there we go. I could go over that one more time to kind of straighten it out probably, but it works pretty good. For this one, I found that 25,000 RPM worked best. I have to go a little bit slower, but it keeps from burning the wood as I'm cutting. So that's all I can think of. So hope this is helpful. Thanks for watching.